I'm Tom Rolston, Power Up in 10. And with me is Jen Sapanaro. She's going to talk today a little bit about HR, which is her expertise. And in particular, today, we're going to talk a little bit about empathy. Big, big word that sometimes is overused. Jen?
Hey, Tom. Yeah, empathy is definitely a big word in the past 5 years with big corporations and small business. The last company I worked with, I had the honor to be certified and really deeply trained worldwide, actually, with this topic. And these skills not only helped me be a better person in the corporate world and a listener and support my team, but better understand other people personally. Like it really has helped with my life, like my teenagers, which we all know we can need a little help with. Empathy is something that is a must in this world more than ever. We're working virtual. We've been through a lot. We need to be able to reconnect with our teams and within their homes away from each other. So we're needing it more and more.
Absolutely. You know, Jen, empathy is a word that's kind of interesting because a lot of people confuse this with other kinds of thoughts. And in particular, one of the things that just absolutely drives me nuts is the institutionalized way we get trained about empathy. We think that if we just say we're sorry, which rings so hollow with customer service people, especially, and other people, you might call it on the customer service side, but I also find it to be the case with so many people that I know in life, like you say, personally and in business. They just don't know how to make empathy work. So talk to me a little bit about, or talk to all of us, I should say, a little bit about how is sympathy different, and how do you make it different from empathy?
Yeah, and that is very much a mistaken thing. We're naturally more sympathetic people, and empathy is definitely not something everybody's born with. But there are some tips, and there's little things that you can do to train yourself to be better. Like you said, oh, I'm sorry, or if somebody comes to you and says, my aunt died. Oh my gosh, well, my aunt died too, so I understand how I was feeling. That's sympathy. Empathy is saying, oh my gosh, I'm so hurt, so like terribly sorry to hear about that. Tell me more, and how can I be there for you? That's empathy. It's truly letting that person feel the feelings. Empathy is the capacity to understand or feel what another person is experiencing from within their frame of reference. And so when talking about a situation, instead of jumping in and saying, oh, I know the same thing happening to me, pause, repeat back what they said, and understand what they're feeling and not deflect.
And it makes so much sense what you're talking about. It's just a whole nother level of connection. I heard somebody the other day make the comment, again, I thought it was great. They said, how was your weekend? And the person next to him says, do you really care? I mean, it's just so common when we just sit there and we just throw out a line and we don't really mean it. And that's what empathy really is. Tell me some of the pieces that you use to identify these behaviors to understand your team more.
So, first up, learn to read a room. And that could be even on here. Like if you're on a virtual call, it's very easy to read people's facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice are very important factors to reading that. This makes you not only be able to react, but also get the attention and trust of everyone. So for example, have you been speaking to somebody before? We'll bring up teenagers again. It's going to be our topic today. And their arms are folded and they're rolling their eyes. They're not listening to you. They're already thinking about what they want to say or what they just don't want nothing to do with you. They want to just tune you out. So learn to do that, because at that point we know that they are bored, frustrated, not engaged, and you need to gain back their interest and let them feel like they are part of the conversation and that they matter too.
Oh, it's just so important. And somebody becomes stronger with this. And as they get stronger with it, it becomes more of a natural instinct. Like you said, you were trained for it. So not a lot of other people are trained for it. So give us some tips of some things that you would recommend that people maybe consider when they really want to show that they really do actually care.
So the repeating back what people say and learning how to be a good listener is definitely step one. We're not naturally it's rare to find somebody that is a better listener than a talker, and especially me. I know that was horrible for me. I love to talk, and so we did an exercise that you could do virtually or in person, and you're going to have the talker, you're going to have the listener, and then you're going to observer, and each person's going to take 1 minute sessions to be in each position. And the observer's going to watch how the two react, and be okay to take that criticism and really, like, construct and become a better listener. And when you're the listener, really engage, or just teasing. One of the things is try not to be nodding your head, because it'll help you zone off to what you want to say. Try to truly listen to them and repeat back what they said. So what you're saying is, whatever the subject is, and make sure you repeat it back to them and be like, am I understanding that right? Because then you've gained their respect. They know that you really care. They know that you've been listening, and there won't be miscommunication, so that everybody wins at that point, and that person does feel like they have been heard and been listened. And they know that you're there to support them.
And boy, is that important. By the way, I was shaking my head while you were saying that, nodding my head. And, I was listening, just so you know. So that is so critical. I think you've given some great thoughts for just everyday life. And I think people just oversee this, and they don't really think about it and don't really understand the importance of it. So, I can't tell you enough how much I really think this is a benefit to everyone here in everyday life.
Tom, you're right. Empathy is so important for our day-to-day life, not just with work, but like I said, with your personal. And it really did help me with my teens. I will tell you, I think they're the age group, we don't let them feel heard all the time. And it avoided a lot of conflict. Like, I made them feel heard, and that I actually cared. It was empathetic. And it definitely has changed a lot for me. And then in the business world, it'll help build a very strong team and retain a team that, by the way, you hired and you chose them. So instead of getting rid of them, why not strengthen the team that you obviously saw something in prior and you hired them in? So to me, build your success together. I encourage you to research empathy a little bit more. Learning to be a true listener is a very powerful resource.
Thanks, Jen. This has been awesome. Hey, Jen's going to talk a lot more about other subjects, so continue to listen in to some HR ideas with Jen. Thank you.